What's good, y'all? It's Taj Rockitt, aka Mr. Highly Motivated, baby. Here to get you motivated, baby, and we in here in my mobile office, aka my Nissan Rouge here in San Diego, California. And we here for Motivated Mondays, episode number 39. And I'm here to enhance your mind and your grind today. Cause today, what we talking about is you versus you. That's right. Any and everything that we do, it is always you versus you. It's not about anybody else, your competition, your family, your employees, your employers, your management staff, your bad habits, anything that you're dealing with. At the end of the day, it is truly you versus you, no matter the case, alright? Now, the reason why I'm bringing this topic up with y'all this week, and specifically this Monday, is because I've been recently pursuing my own business full-time, 100% working for myself, and I realized that in this process, in this journey, it is me versus me, aka you versus you, because without myself, my business will not grow. My business will not flourish. My business will not thrive unless I wake up every single day with an agenda, with goals, and with intention and pursuit of those goals in general. Now, I have become a full-time business owner and full-time entrepreneur in terms of mobile and online personal training. Not only is it online and mobile personal training, but I also provide group training, nutrition, basically advice, guidance, and meal plans. And I'm helping other individuals be the best versions of themselves in terms of fitness, health, nutrition, and wellness, and everything that comes along with that. Now, in terms of my business, I have actually recently started training a new client. He is a youth athlete and he is only 12 years old. He is pursuing tennis. He also wants to do a whole bunch of other sports. I mean, at 12, I really would hope that you would encourage these young kids, these young adolescent children to chase their dreams in any way that they see possible. Now, I do believe that impossible is nothing and that you can achieve anything that you want, especially when you're that young. But you got to let these kids know that at the end of the day, you can't worry about anybody else. This young kid, I've been asking him, hey, what do you want to do? What do you want to get out of these sessions? So on and so forth. And he really told me straight up, he doesn't want to be picked last anymore. Whether he's playing football at lunch with his friends or he plays tennis or he's getting into flag football or any sports or activities that he does, he doesn't want to be labeled the unfit, uncoordinated, untalented kid. He wants to get picked first, or he just wants to get picked not last. And I told him, don't compare yourself to anybody else. Nobody else has the gifts, talents, and abilities that you do. And so you cannot look to other individuals to compare yourself to. Now, in competition, we naturally want to beat others. That's okay. But to beat others and to compete with others, we have to get better within ourselves, because your talents, your gifts, your abilities, any and everything that you are equipped with is already inside. But you have to learn and you have to grow within yourself to access the maximum capabilities in which that you already hold. You have skills, talents, abilities. You have gifts inside of you that other individuals could only fathom. That they actually look at you and like, man, I wish I had your gifts. I wish I had your skills. I wish I could do what you do in terms of X, Y, and Z. But you have to realize what you are gifted in and what you are capable of before you can access them. Now, this young kid, I had to remind him that during this training, we had some baseline measurements in terms of some movement screening. We had some strength, conditioning, endurance testing, and I wrote down a lot of baseline numbers. And I had to ask him, what do you think the point of this is? He goes, just so I know where I'm at. Exactly. Because at the end of the day, you need to know where you're at so you have somewhere to start. Now, when you have that starting baseline number, whether that, that's a fitness test or whether that's like an IQ test or you're in a class, you take a test, you learn where you're at, and your goal is to improve upon that test. Now, I told him, we're going to be seeing this test and these tests again in the near future. But in the meantime, focus on you getting better at whatever task we have at hand. Now, we have been throwing a lot of different strength, coordination, speed, agility, just basically a little bit of everything drills at this young kid with a formulated plan. And he's just, some of the things he doesn't enjoy. And after our first session, I asked him, on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you rate this session in terms of how much you liked it, how much fun and how much benefit you see you got out of it? He goes, an 8. And then his mom was present when I asked this question. She's like, that's a loaded question. That's a dangerous question for you to ask. I said, no, because if I don't know what he needs to enjoy himself, if I don't create an environment that he wants to attend, then he will never reach his maximum potential. He will never reach his maximum skill level because he doesn't want to be doing it. So I asked him, what is it going to take for me to go from an 8 to a 10 for you? And he's like, well, I wish that it was more sport related. Like, I play tennis. I want to play football. I got a couple other things I want to do. I said, oh, okay, cool. So some of the speed and agility coordination drills, I then on my next session brought a football, a tennis ball, and brought some other things that I incorporated the drills and made the drills more specific to what he wants. And the skills that we're building, regardless of holding a football or moving around, getting to a tennis ball or doing speed and eye coordination work, so on and so forth, those skills are transferable regardless of what he wants to do, whatever sport he wants to play. So if I got to put a football in this kid's hand while we're doing ladder drills, that's just all he's just in his mind, it's checking the box. If I'm playing a sport now I really want to get into it. And I can honestly say that I relate to this kid because I didn't do track or a whole bunch of other sports back in the day because I was too worried about beating Mr. Joe over here or John or whatever this kid's name is. You know what I mean? And I wasn't worried about myself enough. I didn't have somebody giving me baseline tests so I can measure where I'm at now so I can beat myself. Because at the end of the day, I used to beat myself up because I didn't even know where I stood. I was too worried comparing myself to the kid who had a personal trainer and then a stretch therapist and a massage therapist at age 10 when I came from a single parent home, you know what I mean, had to work before I was even legally supposed to work, mowing lawn, so on and so forth. You can't compare yourself to other people. You didn't start at the same level and you won't end at the same level, but you can be better than you were, which may put you past your competition if you focus on you. You got the goods. You got the juice. You got the skills, but it is you versus you. If you worry about other individuals, you are going to be blinded by what they're doing instead of looking at what you got, what you need to work on, and tapping in to that in which you are capable of. If you worry about other individuals, your maximum capability level will be then greeted by a glass ceiling of whatever they're good at. Because if you're worried about what they're good at, you may not realize what you're great at. And if you don't see your potential, just a glimmer of your potential, then you might as well stop wasting your time. Straight up. Because if you're worried about somebody else's skills, however skilled they are, you're not putting a cap on your skills to their skill level. When you got to look at this dude like, man, I'm better than this dude, but I got to put the work in. At the end of the day, you don't put the work in, talking ain't going to get it done. That work, that action, that tenacity, that dedication, that's what's going to get it done. So if you worry about other individuals, you are literally telling yourself, I'm only going to be as good as that person I'm comparing myself to. You should never compare yourself to anybody else because you are better than your yesterday. As long as you are progressing and chasing whatever your yesterday was and trying to match it or beat it. Because at the end of the day, you are better than everybody in the world at something. There's something that you have that you just have to learn more about yourself. You have to dive deeper. You have to get more intrinsic. You have to take a deeper visit in your heart, in your soul, and you have to ask yourself, what am I here for? Why am I here? What do I want? What am I truly looking for? And the moment you tap into that you versus you, it just becomes you. You ain't even, and then you get to a point where you're like, yeah, I'm still working. I'm still, fighting to be better than my yesterday. But you stop worrying so much about being better than who you were. You just worry about being better in general. And then the you versus you, it's just you. It's just you. Because at the end of the day, it is you. You got a bad habit. You got something that's just a monkey on your back. That monkey on your back, it's you. It's you. You may have adopted a habit. You may have grown up in a household, let's say, full of addicts, and you started getting addicted to something. You know what? That's something that you are going to have to address. You are going to have to keep it real about, and you are going to have to deal with. But if you run away from it, if you try to run around it, if you try to act like it's not there, it's going to be knocking at you. It's going to be tapping on you. It's going to be scratching you. It's going to be letting you know that it's there and it ain't going nowhere. And there's going to be a point where you're going to have to make a decision. Either you're going to address it or you're going to give in. And the moment you give in, that you versus you, now it's just you versus everybody, because now you can't even dive deeper back in yourself, because now you're worried about other people because you ain't addressed you. You got to address you. It is you versus you. to make it through. It is you versus you. And I truly do believe that you have the capabilities, but you know, the hard questions are what we need to ask. Just like that young athlete that I'm currently training. I gotta ask him every day. I'm like, who you battling today? Me? I'm battling me. I've changed his perspective. I changed the way that he approaches the game. And I'm like, hey, hey, you remember how many so-and-so you got last time? Yeah, I got X amount, da-da-da-da-da. Oh, okay, what you gonna do today, big man? You know what I mean? Oh, I'm about to get da-da-da. Because if you keep getting better on your side, I told him, it's off season, right? You got friends, he's like, oh, you got strength coaches. And I say, you got a coach. I'm right here. And I got things that they coaches don't have. And I'm going to help you access the things that they don't have so then you can surpass them. But at the end of the day, don't worry about them. Because when you on the field, why, you ain't thinking about little Stevie over here or whatever his name is. You're thinking about what you can do when you get on that field or when you get on that court with that racket. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, it's just like me and triathlons, man. I had a triathlon recently, actually yesterday. I had a triathlon yesterday. It was an international distance, and I've been lifting all week. I'm super sore in the shoulders and the back. The two main, necessary regions of our body that we need to be successful swimmers. And I know that swimming is my area of needs most improvement. And I got swim training tonight, master swim, and I don't want to go because it's an evening schedule, but I've dedicated myself to becoming an Ironman pro, and I got to address the things that I need to work on. If I'm worried about other people that are trying to get better at biking and running, I do need to progress in those. But the thing that's hurting me most in all of my races as of right now in terms of progress is my swimming, because I haven't been addressing it because I've been worried about what other people are doing. And I'm like, well, I'm really good at running and biking, so I might as well double down on that. There's nothing wrong with doubling down on what you're good at, but you cannot neglect the things that need improvement. If you're super strong, but you have a sport or a skill that requires agility and speed, I sure hope you're doing some track work. Just like my little man here, he's really, really good at movement, but he's not good at both sides. He might be good on his left side, but he's not as skilled on his right side. So we're trying to even it out. And that's why he's getting beat. And it's also a lot of, it's just mental confidence. His shoulders end up here. I told him, say it with your chest. Say it with your chest. Let these people know that you are a presence before you even open your mouth. Let them feel you. Let them know that you will never fold. You will never give in, because you are built. You are made for victory, for greatness. And the moment you realize that you got that good, then you're going to receive nothing but good. But you got to go through the pain to get to the success. You know what I'm saying? And I got to go to these swim classes. Man, during my triathlon that I just completed, I had the worst swim I've ever had. And I was like, I was out there like, I couldn't even get my arm, keep it tight to my body. I was wasting all this energy because my shoulders were so tight and my back was so locked up because I didn't do my mobility work. So I showed up late because I was like, oh, it's local. I'm just going to bike over there. It's going to be all good. But it wasn't. And I didn't stick to my plan because it wasn't me versus me. I was like, oh, I got it. I'm not worried about these dudes, so on and so forth. The problem was I wasn't worried about anybody. I wasn't even worried about myself at that time because I've been so tired and my life's been so hectic and so crazy, and a lot of changes have been happening, with me moving to full-time entrepreneurial endeavors and basically just grinding it out 24/7. And I had jury duty all week, so it took 5 days from me, but I learned a lot about the legal system, and I think that was an absolutely fantastic opportunity, and I encourage you to take advantage of it if you ever get called or summoned. But basically, I realized it's you versus you, and I'm out in that water like, man, I'm taking forever. I wanted to literally quit and just call the lifeguard or call the dudes that are on the paddle boards like, hey, take me in. But I had to dig deep, man. I started having, I was taking in a lot of water. I was coughing it up, so on and so forth, because my arms were just getting exhausted and my body started dropping. I lost my form. But I knew for me to get to the two strong points, I had to go through my slow weak point. But I need to double down on my weak point while I double down on my strong points. Because it's me versus me. It's you versus you. Just like I was telling my little client, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's you versus you. And he's approaching these sessions completely different now than he did when we first began. Because he realized, you know what? I'm not worried about Timmy. You know what I mean? I'm not worried about Johnny. You know what I mean? I'm not worried about Tyrell. I'm not worried about anybody. I'm worried about me. And the moment you worry about you, you can have a real look in the mirror at you, your habits, your choices, your decision making, and what you need to do. And the moment you deal with what you need to do, that's when you get what you always supposed to have. And once you get that, you can't let go of it. You also can't get comfortable. You got to continue to ask yourself those questions. Look yourself in the mirror every single day. I'm sweating right now because I'm in this car. It's hot. Yeah, it's hot. Am I going to roll the windows down? Knox. I'm talking to y'all. I want to make sure you hear this whole message. You know what I'm saying? Why is he in the car when it's a beautiful sunny day outside? Because I realized if I go outside today, for some reason, I'm going to get distracted. So I had to dug deep and I had to ask myself, what is it going to take for me to hit these folks with some real juice? I had to keep the windows up. I had to lock the car down. You know what I'm saying? I hope that you locking down your goals and your dreams. And I hope that you are telling yourself that you got this and reminding yourself during your weakest times that that's just part of the process. Without the lows, there is no highs. Without the rain, there is no sun. Without the clouds, there are no blue skies. You know what I'm saying? But it's you versus you. You can't worry about nobody else. Everybody else is living their own life. Everybody else is doing what they gonna do. If you worry about everybody else, you ain't gonna get what you supposed to get. They ain't worried about you. Nobody's worried. I mean, your family, they care about you. They hope that you're doing well. Your competition, the people that try to take your job ain't worried about you. The feds that are trying to take your kids ain't worried about you. You gotta do what you gotta do for you. Period. I'm out here, it's something that I've always worried about, being liked by my friends or making sure people stay in contact with me and so on and so forth. But once I realized that at the end of the day, everybody else is doing what they need to do. I need to handle me. That's this whole triathlon, this whole Ironman thing. It's a huge transformational process for me because I realized as long as I'm taking care of me and my business, I can help other individuals with their business. Now I started my own business and the whole purpose of the business is to help other people handle business. That's literally my business. Motivation, inspiration, dedication, fitness, health, nutrition, wellness, recovery, confidence, all of that. Guidance in terms of scheduling, accountability. I am that. But in order to be that, I need to see that within myself. So it is me versus me. Every day I wake up, I see that alarm go off. I might hit snooze once, but I'm getting up. I'm not resetting that alarm no more. I'm not getting up. I'm not following through. I got my Google Calendar buzzing me. I found new ways. I got new approaches towards things in order to make things happen. And every day is not beautiful like it used to be in terms of like, oh, it's all good, it's free. Because now my goals, my dreams are on my shoulders for real. I don't get up and find more clients. I don't get up and service my clients at the top level that they deserve. I don't give them the service that they deserve. There's other people that are taking care of their business and themselves that will help them take care of themselves better. So I got to make sure I'm providing the top-notch service that everybody deserves. And that's how I am going to continue to thrive and I can help others thrive. But without that, there is no reason to even give it a go. You know what I'm saying? So don't forget that everything that you're doing in your life, it is you versus you. The only way to get to the other side is to decide if you're willing to look at yourself in the mirror and really deal with that deep darkness. And the moment you do, you're going to realize that you versus you is really just you. And you were always built for that dream that you always wanted. And you got what you need. But it might be difficult to succeed, but you can't give in. You can't let go of what you want in this life. You just got to double down on the things that you need to work on, and you need to keep tending to the things that you are already great at and continue to enhance those. You know what I'm saying, baby? It's Taj Rockitt, aka Mr. Extra Sweaty. Ooh, you should see my window right now. You see it right here? That's right, baby. We fogged up, but our dreams are not fogged up. I can see clearly now. The pain is gone. Well, the pain's still there, and I'm addressing it, but it's me versus me. It's you versus you. And you're going to do everything that you were supposed to as long as you take care of yourself. And in turn, you're going to help take care of other people. You know what I'm saying, baby? I'll see y'all next time. Different location. Same sweaty, energetic motivation, baby. I see y'all around the way. Take care of your business. And you're going to see your money accrue that positive interest, baby. I see y'all around the way. Holla.